It is our top story here at noon. A student pilot and their instructor are dead after a plane crashed overnight near Whitesville, Kentucky. It happened during a severe thunderstorm in the area just after 10 p.m. Officials received a call from the Evansville control tower saying it had lost contact with an aircraft en route to Owensboro coming from Bowling Green. Officials told us a debris field was located by a drone this morning, which led to the discovery of the two victims just a short time ago. Their names have not been released. KSP and the FAA are investigating that crash. We'll continue to follow any updates with this story, so make sure you have the WHAS11 app downloaded to your phone for all of those alerts. Brooks Houck is sitting in a Hardin County jail cell today, held on a $10 million cash-only bond, charged with the murder of his former girlfriend, Crystal Rogers. This was an arrest 8 years in the making, and take a look at this moment when police led Houck into the Nelson County Jail Wednesday morning after he was arrested at a construction site. About an hour after he was booked, you then see them leading him back outside into a transport car, this time wearing an orange jumpsuit. Houck was then transferred to the Hardin County Detention Center. Our Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie share how it's affecting people in Bardstown.
I don't know anybody that's new to this area has not looked into it.
In this neighborhood just outside of Bardstown, where Brooks Houck builds houses and holds rental properties.
No, I've never seen the man except the pictures on the news.
They have to feel that they have a case.
News travels fast.
I've heard from quite a few neighbors already. It's a very good thing.
As Houck sits in the Hardin County Detention Center, neighbors are just starting to process it all. The break in a case they never thought they'd see.
Someone texted my daughter with that information, and I think we were both shocked and relieved if in fact they have the right person.
The moments law enforcement apprehended and arrested Houck Wednesday morning, captured here in this photo in this neighborhood.
And I saw the videos, and of course they were aiming the cameras and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, that's my neighborhood.
No matter the verdict, one thing is for certain right now. These people have not forgotten what happened here.
You see the signs everywhere. People in this town have not forgotten. And you see the prayers for Crystal signs everywhere.
For some, their prayers were potentially answered.
So if you don't give up and you keep putting pressure on the right folks, you'll get some answers in time.
In a case coming with very little answers for years until now. In Bardstown, Kentucky, Connor Steffen, WHAS11 on your side.
Police are still investigating 3 other cases in Nelson County, including the murders of Kathy and Samantha Netherland. The mother and daughter were found bound and killed in their home in 2014. And then there's the case of Tommy Ballard, Crystal's father, who was killed in 2016, shot while on a hunting trip. And the ambush and murder of Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis 10 years ago. Ellis's family released a statement saying, in part, we have prayed fervently for 8 years that this day would come for Sherry Ballard. The strength, bravery, and fidelity Sherry's exhibited the past 8 years has continually renewed our family's resolve. Sports betting is officially online today in Kentucky. This means sports fans over the age of 18 can now begin placing legal wagers on their smartphones and other devices. And this comes about 3 weeks after in-person sports wagering began. And so far, according to Governor Andy Beshear, the state has raked in $4.5 million already in betting revenue. The hope in that number continues to grow, with an estimated revenue of $23 million after a full year. Governor Beshear said in preparation for today, well over 60,000 mobile betting accounts have already pre-registered. The Horse Racing Commission's licensed several mobile apps for betting, including Bet365, MGM, Barstool Sportsbook, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, and Fanatics. A number of those providers will also operate retail sportsbooks in person at tracks and gaming facilities. Goodwill Industries of Kentucky just helped about 50 people today get closer to clearing their name. Goodwill partnered with a number of legal aid societies to offer expungement clinics where people can receive free legal advice. And if they qualify for expungement, they are then guided through that process free of charge.
Been turned down on applications for housing. I have been turned down for jobs. When it comes, I've gotten the job, and when it comes to the background coming in, or arriving at the company, they've just let me go and let me know they don't need my services. So having this opportunity to be able to remove those barriers is a beautiful thing.
Goodwill covers any fees for the expungement up to $600 a person. A new program is in place to reduce delays in Louisville's public transit system, and it's being tested on one of the company's most popular routes, Broadway 23. Our Taylor Woods got a look at how it works.
This is the city's busiest route for TARC buses, Broadway. TARC is using it for a new pilot program to improve arrival and drop-off times one bus at a time. The 23 Broadway bus is being monitored in real time to see if buses will stay on schedule.
We have a wide-ranging action plan to improve on-time performance across the board. It is such a huge priority for transit riders. It's such a huge priority for TARC. So we've made that one of our top priorities.
The 23 Broadway bus was chosen as a pilot since it is the city's most popular route, starting on Broadway from Shawnee Park through downtown, the medical district, all the way to the Bardstown Road corridor, and then finishes in the East End.
But being very popular, there's also a lot of stopping, a lot of starting, which means the bus can very quickly get off schedule.
To reduce the amount of delays, when one bus is running late, the TARC Control Center will notify the late bus to switch to drop-off only. This means no one will be able to board that bus, and a trailing bus will arrive shortly to board riders.
And that's where the core of the program comes in terms of using this air traffic control model to be able to adjust the buses in dynamic real time without causing inconvenience for riders, but making the system work better up and down the line.
TARC says this initiative has been created to better serve riders, and they hope it makes buses more on time.
And the 23 Broadway pilot is an important part of a much bigger plan to make on-time performance more reliable buses for riders every day of the week.
In the meantime, TARC will evaluate feedback from riders and staff. Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 on your side.
This 23 pilot program runs now through October 31st. TARC will take the feedback from this initiative and identify additional improvement areas to apply to other bus routes.